grade ones. Welcome to the art room. I'm sad not to see your beautiful smiling faces every day, but I hope that you're having fun at home and that you're being creative. By now you would have watched the videos that I've posted for you all about primary colors and secondary colors and the color wheel. Today we're going to make a color wheel creature. We're going to start off by using something round to trace. I'm using a sticky tape, but ask mum and dad or someone at home to help you find something round that you can trace so that you can end up with a shape like that, a circle. Now we have to divide our circle into 6 slices, almost like a pizza. So we're going to start off by drawing a line straight through the middle. Again, ask somebody to help you with this if you're finding it a little bit tricky. If it's not quite in the middle, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Once you've divided your circle into 6 pieces, like that, and you can see mine isn't perfect either, but that's okay. Just do the best you can. Now we're going to start with our colors. Now the first 3 colors that we have to color in are the primary colors. And the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Now you can use anything to color in these primary colors. You can use paints, you can use pencil crayons or wind-ups or Kokies. I'm going to use Kokies. I'm going to do my red block over here. Color in as neatly as you can. So you can use wax crayons, anything that you have at home. It doesn't matter what you use, as long as it's red. I'm just going to do mine really quickly so that you can see how to do it. But you obviously are going to take your time and do it nicely. Okay. So there's our red slice. Now we need a blue slice. So we're going to skip one and we're going to go on to the next one. And we're going to make this one blue. It doesn't matter if it's light blue or dark blue, as long as it's blue. And color it in using your wind-ups or crayons, or paint it if you want to. Ah, there's the bell. At least it kind of feels like you're still at school, guys. You can still hear the bell. Right, here we go. So you color those in beautifully. And now we're going to skip another one, and we're going to do yellow. The last of our 3 primary colors. Now the 3 primary colors make every single color in the whole world. You can make any color you like as long as you've got these 3 primary colors. But grade 1s, you can't make a primary color. You can use them to mix other colors, but you can't actually make a red or a blue or a yellow. Right, now that we've got our 3 primary colors, now we need our secondary colors. Now secondary colors, like you saw in the video, are made when 2 primary colors are mixed. So if I mix red and yellow, I'm going to get orange. So this block between the red and the yellow, I'm going to color in orange. Okay, the blocks in between the next 2 colors, have a little think while you're waiting for me to finish. What do you think yellow and blue will make if you mix them together? They're going to make the next secondary color, which is, you got it, green. Well done. So in between yellow and blue, I'm going to color green, because if we mix those 2 together, that's what we would get. Do you remember from the video? Great stuff. Right, let's color in this little pizza slice. Our color wheel's becoming beautiful now. And we've only got 1 more slice that we have to color in. So while I'm finishing the green, have a little think. If I had to mix blue and red together, what do you think you would make? Great. You'd make purple. Well done. For those of you who guessed that, or who worked that out, that's great. You know your colour wheel, don't you? Right, let's just colour that in nicely. So let's have a little look. We've got our 3 primary colours, red, yellow and blue, and we've got our 3 secondary colours, which is orange, purple and green. And voila, we have our colour wheel. But I think it's time to do something with our colour wheel. Now this is where your imagination comes in. You need to think, what can I make out of this colour wheel? What creature could I make? Could I maybe turn it into something else, like an umbrella? Or could I turn it into a snail, or perhaps a tortoise? I'm going to turn mine into a little tortoise. And I'm going to take a black Koki to do this. Maybe you want to do it in pencil first, just until you're sure. And I'm going to do the turtle's head in the yellow part, like that. And I'm going to make this the turtle's shell. So that means my turtle needs a little tail on the end. And he needs 4 legs. So I'm going to do a little leg here, and a little leg there, and a little leg here, and one more over there. Now I can go over it in black pen. You don't have to, but if you've got a black Koki or a black pen lying at home, that's quite a nice thing to do. So I'm going to go over his legs and his head. Like that. And let's give him some little eyes. He's quite a cute little turtle, or tortoise. I can't really give him a smile because we're looking at him from the top down, so you probably wouldn't see his mouth. But maybe he has little toenails. And I think I'm going to name him Toby the tortoise. If you'd like to, guys, you can colour that little tortoise in any colour you like. Maybe using pencil crayon or something else that you haven't used before. I'm using pencil crayon because I've already used Koki. You can colour in his little feet. So I want you to think, what could you make out of your colour wheel? You don't have to do your Toby the tortoise or Toby the turtle. You could do something completely different. I like the idea of maybe doing an umbrella. Umbrellas are beautiful. You could also turn it into a flower. You could turn your colour wheel into a tree, an imaginary rainbow tree. You could do anything you like. So what I want you to do when it's your turn to make your colour wheel is I want you to turn your colour wheel into something that you have chosen. And I want you to ask Mum and Dad or whoever's helping you to do this project to take a photo of what you've made and put it on so that I can see on Google Classroom what you've made, and that other children can also see what you've made, and that your teachers can see what you've made, because I'm quite sure that you're going to do some beautiful, beautiful art. So grade ones, I hope you have lots of fun making Toby the turtle, or an umbrella, or a flower, or a tree out of the colour wheel. Let's go through the colours again just to remind you. Your primary colours are red, yellow and blue. Your secondary colours are orange, purple and green. See you soon. Bye.